Hey guys, thank you for watching Slappy's Garage. On this episode, I'm showing off my 1982 Sportster. If you might have checked out my last video, I painted the gas tank and the tin set for this bike, which includes the rear fender and oil tank. Changed out a few parts so far, but I'll show you the whole bike together with the gas tank. That came off because I plan on doing further fabrication to the bike. I just want to show you how that tin set looked because I was really excited to put it on myself.
So to get started, I thought my rear wheel's in the way, and I can also inspect everything a little easier without the rear wheel and change out some more parts. So I took it off to get started. I go into adding in my oil tank. I have to move my wiring harness back, just get it out of the way, put it in. I'm only putting the top mount for now. I'm going to put the back mount when I put my rear fender. But I also have to do things like put my oil lines back on, which I was in the way when I was doing it, so you can't really see. Before I start adding more parts, I decided to change out these rear shocks. These rear shocks, they're all right shocks. They're not the highest quality shocks. They're cheaper ends, but they worked for the time being. I am putting a set of progressive, I think they're 990s. I'll just double check on that. Pack those. These are brand new, so I have to pack the bushings in there. And they give you two style spacers. These are the straight spacers I'm putting on for a Sportster. I think the FXR had a little bit more of an offset because the frame and the swing arm wasn't aligned like the Sportster frame. So once these are all packed, all the bushings are in, you're going to Loctite them in place. I like putting the bolt through, cleaning up any of that residual grease, and cleaning it again after. But you don't want the grease and the Loctite mixing because it's not going to adhere right and it's not going to cure properly. So I'm just going to breeze through this. I do add Loctite to the bottom bolt as well. It is a lock nut. Some people don't think you need it. Some people think you need it. It's just a little extra safety so it doesn't come loose because you don't want to lose your shocks when you're riding on the road. So now I'm just going to put it in place. It's not going to be locked tight and tightened down, cranked down. I don't know if I'm going to have to move this. I don't know if I'm going to do something to the tail light, the wiring. So I don't want to Loctite in place until I know everything is definite, set, and done instead of going re-Loctiting it 3 different times. All right, so I'm putting a neoprene washer between the fender face and the strut, and also I'm putting a neoprene washer between fender and the oil tank. Now I added that on. It's all video because I lost that video, whatever. I add that mount to the oil tank, to the rear fender. It goes to the frame as well. Now I'm also taking off my primary cover. At this point, I already know I'm not going to make the show for other reasons. I'll get into that a little later. I'm taking off my mid-control first, then my shifter, loosening all the primary bolts, and you can't forget the one bolt on the bottom that holds your tensioner. So now, just for video purpose, you can watch me just crack them all loose before taking them out, and then they're all going to disappear and be off. That's just to make it easier for you to watch. Who wants to watch me backing out a million different bolts? Now, I'm leaving this clutch cable connected because I'm taking this clutch lever off for now. I'm powder coating that, hopefully. And now I'm going to put the newer cover on. I just clean out all the residual oil that's in there. I already drained the oil out of the primary, so there was no oil coming out. There's a little bit of residual, but not too bad. And when I put this on, I'm just checking up, line up all the holes, make sure it's 100% because I don't know if this is going to work yet. And trying to get it on, it does give me a little bit of an issue. I'm trying to figure out what that is, but I do figure out eventually that my shift shaft is too long and actually push the bushing out. There's a little bushing that goes on your shift shaft on the outer primary cover. That pushed out and it went almost all the way in, but I think it's still holding up a little bit. I'm going to change that shift shaft with the transmission, with the motor I'm getting for free. So I might be changing the whole clutch system. We don't know yet. I'm going to take a look at it and try to figure this out and figure out how this clutch actuator is going to work. Because as of right now, it's a different style and does not work. Moving on to the rear brake. Now I'm taking this off because it was seized up. That's why I'm not making the show. There's a little clip of me trying to pry it with a screwdriver, knowing that I'm going to need new pads or whatever. Didn't work. It was completely seized up, and I decided to pull it all apart, try to push as much liquid out as possible, and get ready for a rebuild. I guess I'm going to rebuild both the front and rear since I'm doing it at once, and these both were used calipers. Now I'm going to pull everything apart. I inspect the pistons and try to figure out if I can just get away with the seal kit or I need new pistons, which are very expensive for these calipers. They're about $40 a piece, and if you need 8 of them for front and rear, that's a lot of money. So I'm just inspecting everything, taking it apart, and I find that the brake fluid that I used was a little contaminated, had some clumpy, different consistency in there, and I guess it mixed with the little .4 and 5, but I don't know where that would have came from because it was a brand new brake line with a clean master, and these were cleaned out exceptionally well. I guess there was a little residual in there that just didn't mix well. So that being said, that I'm going to put these on the side and move on. Just going to chuck that rear wheel back on there where it was. I'm just putting the nut on loosely. Like I said, it's going to come apart again most likely, and go through everything one more time and go through every single bolt. Make sure everything's Loctite. So there it is. Now I'm going to throw the exhaust on, and this is definitely going to come off again. I put the clamps on just to hold it when I transport it out of the garage. But everything is super solid. It's looking clean again now that I have everything back on. The tins are starting to look awesome next to all the polished. I pull the bike outside to give you a better look and throw the gas tank on at the same time. So now just putting the gas tank on, have the neoprene washers just like the rear fender between both sides of the washers. And then I'm also putting my seat on. And ignore my pants, it's just a little mishap in the garage. Got caught on something. Now I have a big hole where it's like free AC. But here's some photos of before and after. Tell me what you think down below, because I'm really happy with the way it came out. I'll get better videos and photos of the bike once it's completely done.
Thank you guys for watching Slappy's Garage. I appreciate every one of you subscribers, people who watch my videos consistently, or if you just like this video. Thank you very much. I'll be on my next video. I have another project in the works. While this is on the back burner, no, it's not going to be like the Dirtster. The Dirtster is only because I was supposed to get the title for it. I didn't get it. I'm waiting on the title service, and I can't find one because they keep closing the loopholes. So if anyone can help me out, go down below. Let me know, because I'm really excited to get that bike done too. But until then, this bike is waiting on parts. I have a client's bike coming in. I'll be excited to show you that next video.